Hi, my name is Justin Krepp and I'm a professor of physics. One of the motivations for developing Breathe was the current paradigm of weight loss. The idea is that if you apply conservation of energy to the problem, you might write down an equation that looks something like this, where the change in energy of a person, in this case, is just their diet minus their exercise. This seems intuitive, but whenever you look at it a little bit deeper, it actually has a number of flaws that make it not applicable to this problem. So the first is that your basal metabolic rate actually changes over time. And so this equation is ignoring the time dependence of how our bodies evolve and adapt to diet and exercise. The second, and this one's really important, is that it ignores all of chemistry. So everything you learned in chemistry class about when you eat something, the various macronutrients, carbohydrates, protein, and fat, and fiber, and sugar, all of those actually respond differently. They have a different chemical response. This needs an exclamation point after it. And the third is that these variables are actually not independent of one another. They're very dependent of one another. So if you suddenly start running marathons tomorrow, you will eat more, you will open up the refrigerator. And so there's serious issues with applying this to weight loss. It's just too simple, and the result is that your weight versus time starts to oscillate. You can have somebody with a lot of volition who applies this program and they start counting calories, and their weight does go down, but eventually their basal metabolic rate compensates and they end up oscillating up and down with time. And this is why we invented Breathe. Okay, so the goal with Breathe is actually to have this curve come down and then actually maintain itself. How do we do that? We want people to lose weight and sustain it and learn in the process. And so if you want to lose weight, what we need to do is target the mechanisms that are important for fat storage and also fat dissociation. And in each one of those cases, there's a slightly different thing that we need to focus on. In terms of fat storage, this is mediated by insulin, which governs the storage of fat in the cells in the adipose tissue. And so Breathe tracks this with the insulin load, which you'll see as a gauge on the main dashboard page. The second is fat dissociation. Not a lot of people know this, but the way that we actually lose weight is through carbon dioxide exhalation. It's about 86% of mass loss versus time. And so if you weigh yourself in the evening and then go to bed before you wake up in the morning and break the fast, you will actually have lost weight every time, so long as you don't eat or drink in between. And so what Breathe does is it finds a proxy for carbon dioxide exhalation by first starting off with your smartwatch and measuring your heart rate. That's connected to your ventilation in time, how much you're breathing. That in turn is connected to carbon dioxide, which in turn is connected to fat and ultimately mass. And so instead of conservation of energy, Breathe actually uses conservation of mass by targeting these two mechanisms.